Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brave. Heliotrope. We got it. We got one of them. There are a few. There are a few ultimate swords of justice. We missed the one that we could have gotten much earlier because I don't think I had my bottle mail yet.
Yeah. So you wouldn't really recommend this game?
I would only recommend it to someone that had already played a couple of Disgaias, and I'd probably recommend Soul Nomad first.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably recommend a lot of other strategy titles before I recommended this one, unless someone specifically asked for, like, I want, like, a sweet story, and I don't mind weird, sort of unhinged, a weird collection of mechanics getting in the way of that. Because in some ways, it kind of feels like if I recommend this game, what I'm doing is I'm saying to the person, like, I'm gonna give you the world's most complicated DVD. And it's not even like other games which are, so this is weird. It's not even like other games that I feel have maybe missed the point of game, like game as concept.
Yeah.
Where they are trying to show you a story, and I have to think, like, this would probably have been better as a film, right? This is very light. I feel like they've missed the point of playing a game, and you're mainly watching something, and everything in between is sort of a bit of a distraction. It kind of feels like I'm just... like I described a game recently to you where it felt like someone was holding a film hostage and would only press play again if I stood up and paced the room.
Yeah.
15 times and then settled back in so they could hit play. This feels like a similar kind of problem, but it's a huge overabundance of only mostly functional mechanics. I would describe, like, the way that you move around the map as mostly functional. I would describe the big pile-ups that you can have of bodies and items and stuff as just mostly functional. I would describe the skill system as delightfully broken.
Yeah.
Right? Like, on purpose, definitely, just by the way that the system is arranged. But you have to be accepting of the fact that when a Manticore picks up another Manticore and uses a special attack, because that second Manticore is in the first mouth, it's gonna spawn a fiery horde of smaller Manticores.
Yeah.
If you use an attack that was designed for a plant and it has a bunch of small, what were supposed to be trees growing under the ground as part of the attack, you have to appreciate the fact that if you graph that onto a box, you're gonna suddenly have you've invented the box fruit.
Yeah.
You are now the owner of that horrible thing that you've made.
Yeah.
The whole game is just like that, and it is often too far on the side of annoying. It's not close enough to the charming side, like that thing I just described is.
Dead.
Raphael, you're okay.
You never cease to amaze me, Marona. You may yet triumph where I failed. It seems I still have much to learn.
Will you help us, Raphael?
I wish that I could, but I've already been affected by sulfur. I am sorry. Hopefully, this will do in my stead.
Right.
What?
He gives us the sword we stole.
So do we have two now?
Yes.
Yes.
But this is your...
This is your backup legendary sword.
I
This legendary blade was forged by ancient spirits. Cherish it, as I have.
I'm pretty sure that if you steal... I feel like the internet said that you can wind up with 4 copies total.
Yeah.
If you grab it every time it's on the map.
Cool.
Well.
The spirits were busy.
Thank you, Raphael.
No, Marona. It is truly my honor.
Have you heard? That one possessed Chroma is fighting against Sulphur's legions. I would have been nicer to her if I knew she'd be saving my bacon one day.
That's the problem. You don't know, so you just be nice. You just be nice.
That Marona always was a special little girl. I have faith in her.
Were you the one that...
Yes, yes, yes. Liars and mean people.
You weren't exactly singing her praises before.
Yeah.
I can admit when I've made a mistake. It's too bad none of us realized sooner.
Okay, that's more like it.
Well, I'm a believer now. She's the only one who can defeat Sulphur.
Oh, please. They all hated Marona a week ago. Now they're pulling a total 180.
Look, I think that it's perfectly fine to change your mind about important stuff. Like realizing that you've been very mean to a child that's trying to save the world for a little too long.
That's how people are. Those with special abilities are never accepted right away.
But it won't be long before everyone is touched by Marona's sincerity and kindness.
See, he doesn't make it weird.
Yeah. Why?
Yes. May God watch over the young braves.
Get it? We're right up against the title of the game.
I know.
It's happening.
I felt it.
You're gonna say it. I don't know if they say it. I don't know if they say it in the game or not. Ooh. That's a little weird. Huh. It doesn't have a title, so I guess they must have just done that manually. Changed the color, I mean.
Yeah. You gonna mush them together?
No, because I have 2, I could take one and mash it onto Ash, so that way he would have a sort of ultimate physical technique, which is what he's really been training the whole game for.
Mm-hmm.
He would still only be able to use it one time. Because of the way that I did, like the training that I did, Marona is really the only character that has like an amount of SP that for our purposes I would feel comfortable as describing as bottomless, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm being intentionally wasteful to use her strongest moves, she's not likely to run out, you know?
I do have to say, as we have been... You only stopped to do some grinding twice, right?
There was one sort of 3 or 4 hour rounding type session, if I remember correctly, and there was one big one.
Yeah.
Where I took a long break and played for like a weekend and got everybody up to where they are now.
I just want to say that as you have leveled people up and progressed, for the time I've been sitting here, I feel like the story paced really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't feel like, thinking back on it, there weren't any parts of it that lagged on too long. Like the different shifts in public opinion about Marona and Marona's own personal growth and Ash's perspective of her and so on and so forth. Those things felt like they came out regularly enough to make a cohesive story.
You know what I think part of it might be? I don't know anyone else personally. Anybody? I don't know anyone else like close to our age with a temperament like mine. It's easy for me to say, oh, if you don't let yourself be drawn into the Skinner box goodness of power leveling, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't do that, you can play this game and it'll be a really compelling strategy game.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know anyone personally that can do that other than me.
Yeah, that would
Everybody-
just subject themselves to that.
Everybody
limitation.
else I know, they're too busy or they're too vulnerable to.
Tasty numbers.
Yeah, I mean, like I've got friends that I look at them and I worry because I think that they like spend too much time playing MMOs, for example. I think that you and Julian the Great both, I would say that you probably you guys don't have the time to step back and think, I'm going to challenge myself on purpose.
By tapping the brakes in just such a way.
Right. Because it's so much easier to just go, I'm going to get everybody up to level 200 in an afternoon and then steamroll this.
And lose interest.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's sort of what I did here. I mean, it's still like, I guess if I wasn't paying attention, I could still lose Morona and be in trouble on one of these maps.
Yeah.
But even just getting up to like the 80s and 90s, I've kind of been on autopilot for a bit now, you know?